Okay, so this is gonna be quick because I don't have my stand and I'm holding it with the wrong hand, fucking hell, because I need to use my right hand. And the reason I'm making this video is because Graham left at like 12:30, I reckonish. And I was like all like ready to clean Sebastian's enclosure and get out back and clean that one and haul out the spider enclosures and all that whatnot stuff, yeah? And I'm not saying that's not gonna happen, but I wanted to start with the easy stuff. And that was getting rid of people and stuff, yeah? So, and then I realised, right, fucking hell. Anyway, because I have it like, there's my front door and then the screen door and there's like this gap, right? So I put the box there and I just sort of put everything together. But where I live, there's like separate bins for, I just realised, like there's the area, the city, like local council I live in is on the bin. I don't really want that to be on the bin, right? So anyway, I'll finish my story and then I'll stop and then I'll come back and fix that. Anyway, it's a beautiful day here in Melbourne. It's like the right kind of heat, like right kind of weather in the sense that, I don't need my hand anymore, I can do this. Oh, fuck if I know. Excuse me. It's like that nice weather where it's beautiful outside, but it's not too hot. I mean, it's not too hot, but I'm in the shade, so let's actually see what that's actually like. Whoa. So, okay, I'm wearing like tights here, right? I did like, anyway. Where, okay, follow the camera to me. Look, pay attention to what you're doing, Olivia. Anyway, I set myself up, right? Let's see how talented I am. Because I have to make another video. Alright, so far so good. Alright, blah, 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 blah. And I'm going to go to there so you don't see anything else. So I've sort of set myself up, right? And I was like, do the main stuff. Like the easiest thing first, which is the clean out the recycling bin. Because we were drinking last night. And I've been doing it the whole time. I find it very easy just to open the front door and chuck it in the bin and not. And obviously I smoke weed. We're all very aware. And but where am I going with this? I'm considerate to the people who obviously don't smoke weed and don't really want to be in the actual like secondhand area of weed smoking, which I appreciate. So I was like standing in that area with the door sort of open and half out, but where am I going with this? Anyway, yes, Graham kept asking me, do I have an inside recycling bin or do I just have that one? And I'm like, I just have that one, but then this morning I was like, dang it, because I have to separate the paper from the glass. So we have a special glass bin. You can't put the lids of whatever the glasses are in it. It's just purely glass. I mean, obviously there's bottles of all the labels. I don't know the gist of that shit, but yeah, just glass is what I'm saying. We're meant to have 4. We have the recycling bin, which is all other recyclables. We have the ordinary rubbish bin, and we're meant to have a green bin, which is like grass clippings and stuff. But the one for this house is filled to the top with like ash from like a homemade fucking, I don't know, like fire outdoor pitch sort of thing. And yeah, so I have my own little back tip though, I've mentioned that before. But I think that what I'm trying to get to is I'm just having such a lovely time. Like having Graham spend the night, like to be with me for that like period of time, to hear. I got some hard truth, people. I got some hard truths, yeah? Some of the ways, I don't totally remember. I'm going to have to get him to send it to me. But he was like, look, this is not going to sound good, yeah? He goes, but this is a really easy way to explain to people what you are like. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, look, brace yourself, I guess. And I'm like, he's like, I'm not trying to be mean. He goes, but this is just what a so far is what I feel a highly accurate way to do it. And I'm like, okay, hit me, I guess. And again, I'm going to have to ask him to explain it properly so I can read it out, because I actually started making a video this morning. So this isn't my first time talking to all of you, yeah? It's just that, oh, that's interesting. And maybe I will post the other part, because I was about to start telling Graham a story, yeah? And this happens with Andrew all the time, right? So that's why I could immediately tell what was happening, because, like I said, anyway, let me just tell the story. Jesus, woman. I was, obviously, me and Graham have been talking, learning heaps, so much about each other and that. Like, we are very similar, but we are very exactly the opposite, which, again, can't help make me think that Mr. X. And since I've told everyone, like, since telling Graham I need to, like, really figure out how to stop thinking about that man all the bloody time, it's literally been in my head the thing I'm thinking about the most. So, of course, that's how that goes. Oh, right, I'm like, why did I walk out there to begin with? To feel the heat, yeah, it's beautiful. Ugh, but sitting is better. Anyway, the reason I turn this camera on is truthfully because the bin for the class is like sitting right in front of me. About, I don't know, let's say 2 meters, meter and a half, I don't fucking know, I'll measure it. I've never ever been able to deal with the depth, the width. And like if, like the other day I was trying to, like last night for example, I was like, let's measure 2 grams of weed so I can actually see it in its entirety, which is what I'm prescribed today. Doesn't mean that's what I have to smoke, it's obviously not what I smoke, but we thought it would be fun to figure it out, yeah? Just looking at it. So I cannot look at something and know what the fuck it is without, yeah, I just don't know. But anyway, I got lost because I started reading the group chat for uni, because there's a lot of shit I need to do, yeah? So sorting out my house is a definite right at the top. Getting all these enclosures on Gumtree, I want them gone. I want them out of my house. And I'm going to sell them cheap, so it shouldn't be that difficult. Yeah, I really want to just get all the fucking bullshit clutter out of my house. I want to make it as easy as possible, because another thing with Graham last night, I said to him, you know, I'm fairly certain of 2 things. Boss will be with me and I'll be in this home until I graduate. Once that's done, once I have the piece of paper, once I have what I've been working for so long, so hard, breaking my brain over, and it's costing me thousands, once I have that, I said to him, I can almost guarantee, I said, like, it won't be long after that I lose both boss and my dog and my home. You can just feel that, like, I don't know what will happen after I get that piece of paper, but I'm fairly certain at least that I'll have my dog and my home. Because, yeah, once uni's done, any other, like, so much energy goes into so many very simple things. Like, Graham could literally see every time I got hit with the fucking spasming, like, pain. And even if I didn't move, I didn't do anything, I didn't whatever, like, my facial expressions, let's face it, they're very animated. I'm an animated person, contrary to what a lot of people might actually not, like, believe. I love to be animated when it's a time and a place that I want to be, but I become animated, for example, my God, did we have a conversation? He's like, I'm just going to ask you now, I don't want you to respond. He's like, I want you to think about it and then come back to me and answer, which I was like, yep, cool, absolutely can do. That didn't happen at all. He asked, I started answering, and then I reckon we talked for like the next fucking half an hour. So I'm super sorry to the friend who kept getting, yeah, like Graham was leaving my house to go straight to meet someone else at another place, and he lives over an hour away from me on the other side of the fucking city. Anyway, and to clarify, the Santa Claus lie that fucking pisses me the fuck off so much, it's not about Santa Claus in the sense that it's Santa Claus. I mean, Santa Claus is fucked up, and yeah, I will write papers. I've written an actual fucking paper about this, so yeah. But it took a lot of fucking me and him trying to understand what each other are saying, because we, like, a lot of what he says, I'm just like, I actually do feel like I'm on a different fucking planet. A lot of the time, yeah? But it's the children that I'm talking about. So when I talk about things that I believe in, I have literally not a lot of fucking hope for any of the people already full of so much fucking bullshit like me. If you're my age and older, and even all the way back, like if you've been born already, you're probably screwed in some sense, or one way or another, is my theory, because we all have the sadness behind our eyes, all of us. That's one of the things that started this. I talk about it all the time to Mr. X, the sadness. I can see the sadness behind everyone's eyes, and I can't do this anymore. I want to do whatever it is that I can do to help people. Now, what I believe in is a very bigger picture, utopia, fucking kind of world where none of what we live with exists, in the sense, because we need to evolve. And once I could finally grasp why we kept clashing, because Graham just kept bringing back the forgiveness and then the lying, and Mr. X, he's like, how did you forgive him when he's lied to you more than anyone in the entire world, and the entire fucking planet? He's like, the worst person who's ever actually done the worst thing to you ever is this man. And I'm like, yeah, I'm aware of this, it's not like I've forgotten. And he's like, so between that and the making the vow to never lie again, he's like, yeah, like, where's the forgiveness come in? And I'm just like, I'm so fucking confused right now. I'm like, I forgave that man 12 fucking hours after he did what he did. Yeah? After I found out that he'd lied literally the day before again. I have to be honest though, if you're like, the world is some pretty fucked up shit, yeah? And I think the reason I get mad with Santa is because parents say to children it's real, which is bad enough in the first place, because you are bribing children, manipulating children all over the world who don't get stuff from Santa because it's unfeasible, unmanageable, parents can't pay, homeless. There's a billion and one different reasons why this fucking lie particularly fucking annoys me. But it's more about the fact that people are okay to lie to children. Like, it's bad enough to lie to someone's face. Mr. X was waiting for me when I got out of the private mental hospital that I had gone into on suicide watch, right? Because I tried to kill myself, very nearly succeeded. He made it a billion times worse by, like, just being like, I don't want to deal with you, and pretending none of it was real. I can't imagine what would have happened if he rocked up and I was dead. That would be an interesting thing, but I guess I'm lucky, depends on what fucking mood I'm in, that didn't happen. But I did decide that I needed to go in a hospital, which was ironic because the day that I went in was the day of his bachelor party, which of course he was contacting me through all the way out. And they had this like full-on 3-day long wedding, Labor weekend, I think, you know. And again, it's just like so fucking bizarre. Like, I'm in hospital at this point. He's very much in contact with me. He gets married. Oh, it's loud next door. And somebody else, a whole another different part of the story that's way too confusing to get into, had driven down there, found out, sent me photos, I'm in hospital, blah blah blah. It's like, the lies are to the point where I can hear where Graham and everyone in the world, in my life, my family, my friends, anyone I've ever spoken to about it, it's just like, unless someone who lived through the experience with me and met him and saw what it was like, and I'm not talking about him and me as people, I'm talking about just the frequency, the way everything, it was weird. Everything's weird. But yeah, it was fucking weird this morning because Graham just kept trying to make links between them, and it's like realizing our statistics, correlations, there are literally no fucking correlations between what happened with Mr. X and making a vow of not ever lying again and being like, oh my god, Santa's a fucking, what the fuck? It's the lie that you can say in the first place. If you can look someone in the fucking eye and swear on every single fucking person's life that you can think of, and then still very easily, consciously, this is how I said it to Graham, a lie consists of like very specific things, yeah? In the sense of a lie is when you knowingly have information that is not right, incorrect. It's a lie, that's what that is. But then you say it to someone. Very simple fucking situation. I tried to give Graham an example today. I was like, you've told me that you're leaving my house and you're going from here to there to meet this person. He's like, yeah. I'm like, that's a very straightforward, simple thing. There's literally no reason why anyone would lie about that. I'm not lying. Like, I believe you. I figure that's what you're doing. He's like, that is what I'm doing. I'm like, sweet. Easy, yeah? I'm like, let's say, like I said, so a lie is giving someone information. If he was like, I'm going to such and such to meet such and such, but really was going to a completely different place for a completely different reason, to do a completely different thing, and for whatever reason it actually affected my life, knowing the difference. Like if you're telling someone a lie, okay, let's just go back to Mr. X. It's a fucking easy example. I can use him for everything. Right from the start, my family, my friends, they all said the same thing. This man is hiding something. He is hiding something. More than likely someone. I asked the man over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, about a billion fucking times, I think. Every which way you can actually ask someone, are you hiding someone from me? He lied every day to my face, swore black and blue. That kind of lying is like fucked up. And the thing is, though, any kind of lie that is going to cause the next person to make a decision on something is fucked up as far as I'm concerned. And parents who lie about Santa, and then when their children start to get old enough and question this shit, it's like, come on, this doesn't fucking make any sense. You double down and you fucking go to bat for this fucking lie, like Jesus, and you're all wondering why the world is falling down around us. But once I could get Graham to understand that we're all fucked, yeah? Unless you want to actually be like me and be like, this is unbelievably beyond fucking bullshit and we are so dumb. All of us. Dumb. Who the fuck thinks they have a single right? I have no right whatsoever in any sense of the word to lie to someone because I think it's going to be better for them. Nobody has that right. No one, not you, not anyone, has the right to think that they know someone better than that person does themselves and then give them false information because they think they are doing the right thing. The only right thing is to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the fucking truth. Like, let's be fucking grown-ups about this shit, yeah. But if you can lie to your children, if you can literally look at your fucking child and say, if you're not good, Santa's not coming, you need to go look in the fucking mirror and ask yourself some goddamn questions, if you ask me. You know, ugh. But, anyway, I'm having a lovely day. As I said to Graham, I really hate how animated I become when I need to talk about something I'm passionate, because as soon as I become animated, it appears like I'm becoming angry. Even he was a little worried. That was happening a couple times last night, and I was like, we're good. I'm definitely not angry. I'm passionate. I feel like I can't see out of one of my bloody eyes. Flat lemonade. Yuck. Jesus Christ, I've been talking for 20 minutes. All I wanted to do, honest to God, when I picked up this camera, was show you how much fun this game is. That's fun. I am fully enjoying it, but like I said, maybe I'll go get a piece of paper and I'll like, that was left-handed. Let's try it this way. Fuck, man, look at my hand. Look at what happens. Oh my God. Oh, Jesus, woman, you're fucking... But yeah. Wow, it's like... Feels like the fucking bones are broken, right? But that's okay. Fuckity fuck. Alright. Even with the broken hand fucking thing, I did it. See? I'm awesome. I'm gonna fucking cover up that thing and then I'm gonna film it for like 10 seconds just for my own amusement. I'm in a really good mood. I am feeling a lot better about uni. Another thing I don't think I really need to swing back around to. It's like my hand is stuck in this fucked up position, so it's kind of like it's the same level of pain whether I keep doing this or not. Though I really should go get a fucking turn it around real fast so I don't like get the rest of the stuff in here. I'm shocking, honestly. The amount of things that are probably in my videos that give away who I am and where I am. If someone actually wanted to do the work, part of me would like someone to do the work and find all my bloopers. I would do that myself, actually. Who knows what I'll do myself. There are so many things I just cannot wait until I fucking finish with uni. Like, this whole time it's been like, oh, Liv, fucking, what one do I want to do? What do I want to study? Blah, fuckity, blah, blah. And I'm just like, oh my God, woman, studying is not the same as learning. Studying brings stress in a way that... not fun at all. What am I trying to do, people? I'm like, cover up this stuff, because then I can just pause this. Oh, look at me learn. Oh, look at me chop my head off, hey? My pretty butterflies. Oh my God, my tattooist has finally gotten a hold of me. I asked Gray and I was like, can I use you as bait, so to speak, to get my tattooist attention? I was like, because seriously, not only am I really ready to start start designing the frickin' rest of my arm tattoo, yeah, because like I'm pretty sure because of the way, oh no, this one doesn't work because it's backwards, but it's like the big one on my arm is like, everything happens for the sake of your higher self, right? But it's like, kind of like, if you look at this one, well, with the big spider web and the spider, yeah? I want pretty butterflies like that around that one, yeah? I also want I want my gloves. I want multiple other quotes too. My next quote that I will be getting the day I see my freaking tattooist, because it won't take long, is everything is on my side. And I'm probably also going to get always come from love or stay silent. I might write that down. Always come from love or stay silent. Because... like, I'm quite cool with the whole, I'm just going to tattoo everything on me because, honestly, to God, whatever it takes at the moment, which sounds silly and ridiculous and literally insane. Oh, I'm so sorry, buddy. I just knocked my poor boy with the fucking phone stand. He is not happy. But, you know what, everyone? It's like, as I keep saying to Graham, nobody wants to feel the way you do when you are having like a full-blown fucking cried because I was talking to the internet man yesterday. And even Graham was like really honest. He was like, honestly, he was like, he goes, you pushed and pushed, and I was like, yeah, I know. And I was like, honestly, I think, obviously we had like I said, he got here in the afternoon, so he didn't leave until like after lunchtime-ish. So we talked a lot. He really, really cannot, like, I mean, as everyone else, he's really trying to get his kid around the whole Mr. X thing, and I'm like, look, dude, just some things I can't fucking explain. Actually, there's a lot of things I can't explain, but it doesn't really matter because nothing, like, there was me, just, normal me, unwell, blah, 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 medicated, unaware, really fucking confused. I'll give you that. I've been confused probably my entire life because it's like, I'm never really fully sure what it is. I'm not registering, but okay. What was I doing? I needed to write myself a note, and I have a pen and I have a thing, and I don't even remember what the fucking note was. Thankfully, I'm talking to all of you, so I'll figure it out when I watch it back. School. I definitely need school stuff. Right, yeah, I'm feeling better about school because when I got sidetracked, because I was like, oh, I don't smash things and anger anymore, so that gives me free range to smash it when it's totally appropriate. And I've always sort of like thrown the glasses in more to get my little satisfaction. It's not the same thing though, but I think sensible growing up livers are aware that I should probably move my car just in case one bounces and then smashes a car or something, which we don't want. I really don't know what that notice is about, but that's cool. It's all good, people. Alright, I'm gonna pause this because I'm gonna put some paper on this and I'm gonna move my car out of the way because I very much am enjoying reading through the student notes. Not notes, like the group chat stuff, and there's a number of us who have not actually started the assignment, or they've started today, so I feel like it's better. And I'm gonna move my character this. I'm gonna see how I go for a few shots, and then I'm just gonna upload this and continue with my day because I actually do have a lot to do, but I've been getting out of my head and just into my body, and I'm good. I'm going with it. Like I said to Graham, census has passed. It's a relief in that sense. Census has passed. I know this has to be done. Everything always gets done. There's literally no part of me that actually thinks none of this won't get done. It's just my brain makes everything so much harder. Oh, and I didn't even some of the things we discussed, he was like, so you can come earlier now, we've decided, for Christmas. Graham was like, Mum, he goes, well, Mum asked what you want to do, and he was like, I told her that you've said, considering the time, I'm just, I'm gonna stay home. And she was like, oh yeah, be fair about that. She's like, tell her she could come as soon as we're ready for them to fuck off. And I'm like, oh, so I'm the wait until everyone I'm like that, you did the piece, you did the whatever, I'll come in when you want them to leave. And then he's like, yeah, kind of. And I was like, okay, I see that. I'm like, so, and it's funny, don't get me wrong. I arrive at a thing and I'm like, hey, how you are? Who do you want to go? Point me in the right direction. And yeah, most people I talk to me, in all fairness, people don't give me enough credit on how and what and how good I actually can read energies in rooms and people. It's just when I'm super fucking overwhelmed, everything's about me. We're aware of this. Even Graham's like, you're one little person, you spend 99.9% of the time of yourself alone, and yet there's constant drama. And I'm like, you couldn't be any more confused than I am, right? Anyway, I've talked for like, fuck me, is like 29:57. Yeah, it's about to hit. And there we go, 30 minutes exactly. Alright, I'm going to pause this, do this, and then maybe get on with my day, hey? So satisfying. Oh. I said to Graham yesterday, I was like, when I'm not lost in my mind, I'm actually really easily, simply entertained. I'm a very, very, very simple, happily entertained, easily amused person. And I love that about me. Like, the version of me, my real true self, without all the trauma, and again, we learn every day. There's obviously big parts of stuff I've like just missed or forgotten, I reckon, because Graham kept saying, well, not kept saying, sorry, Graham was explaining a lot of things to me that I've just sort of gotten my head, like, for example, LGBTQ plus, I honestly haven't even been able to keep up with what it all means, and I got a very detailed lesson last night, and it was actually awesome, because I've never really known who to ask or how to ask, and I don't want to ever actually offend people, funnily enough, which is why I find it funny that I'm like they're fine with me to go to Christmas, I think, at some point after the main part of it. Like I said to Graham, and I said in the original part of the video that I made earlier, because we were talking about drugs, and we were actually talking about Christmas, and he was like, are you sure you don't want to come? And I was like, honestly, I said, there's going to be a lot of things that determine that, yeah, because like I said to him, my backup 1000% truly is to take acid. I'm very openly happy to say that, because, well, let's face it, if I take acid, I'm going to feel myself. Like, I really feel like at day 346, maybe, I don't know, that it's probably a given that there are things that I'm gonna feel. And like I said to Graham, I said, honestly, I said, I've never actually truly hallucinated on acid, because I've just never had enough. I think the most I've ever taken at once so far is like 300 milligrams. 300, I don't know, like 3 tabs worth 100 each, or maybe 120 each. 100 each, I'm pretty sure, yeah. Well, actually, I don't know how to do the math. There might be actually more than that, because I've done 2 that were 180 at once. So that's 600, 360. Let's not try to do math right now, hey? Okay, where am I? What am I trying to say, people? I am saying that, yes, I was telling Graham there are many dynamics and variables that actually come into play before a decision like that is made on the day. So it's a given, provided the day is right. And he was like, oh, I didn't realize there was more to it. And I'm like, well, for example, I sure shit wouldn't take acid if I was feeling depressed or sad or lonely or lost. I would vape and have a drink now and again, and I would definitely just go to Graham's. If I needed to be around people. There's like I said, there are different certain things, like I've definitely done my research enough on the things that I do take. Like I'm like I keep saying, disclaimer, please don't do anything that I do, yeah? I'm just sharing stories because I'm still in the fucking midst of it. I'm still in I don't know who the fuck I am and where I am. Well, all this stuff, right? I know who I am. I'm just broken into a billion different versions of myself. And I'm trying to put them all back together. And it's real fucking messy. And super duper confusing. But, yes. So, I am super excited to take it, in all fairness, because I literally will, like I said to him, I said, I'm going to rake the backyard at some point, and I'm like, if I need to, between now and then, I will ask Andrew if I can borrow the lawnmower for the backyard one more time, but like, hopefully between now and then I just won't need to. My lawn is never going to look as absolutely beautifully perfect as his lawn. Like, he's got one of those lawns that you just really wish you had. The ones that just look good constantly. But, anyway. All I really think about when I think about taking acid is sitting in my backyard and looking at the many different versions of my hands and feet and body parts, and then I talk to the bugs. I already talk to the bugs, but I talk to them even more. And then I think I talk to the leaves. I just get really into nature. And obviously it goes without saying, I pre-roll all my weed before that point, plus I have a vape, yeah? So it was good. I could fill the majority of I filled all my capsules last night while Graham was here. And yeah, I am actually very excited. Excuse me, but there's been a few times where I've gone to do something at a particular point or whatever it is, and then when it's come around, I was like, it doesn't feel right. And if something doesn't feel right, well, I'm not going to do it. But just spending the amount of time I do with him, like Graham, this really, really does help me. Like I keep saying to him, I don't remember being like this before, like this bad. But then I think it was because I was so fucking unaware. Because it kind of would make sense looking back over my life. But, yeah, I'm definitely learning a lot. I've got a whole lot of home truths hitting me. Like, for example, I laugh, like I said to him, I was like, so we're both philosophy people, yeah? And the first thing, one of the first things I wanted to know, I said to him, did you take the Love, Sex, Death class? And he was like, I sure did. And I was like, yeah, so I learned a lot about sex that I just never have thought of before. Like, I'm a very simple person. I know this. I love to learn, but if I don't think about going to learn about it, do you know what I mean? I don't know. My point being, I've only ever, for example, considered sex as in penetration. Anything that doesn't include that is, in my mind, isn't sex. Well, wasn't. I put it that way. There's a whole lot more to life than I've realised, but I guess my number one thing I'm actually trying to say there, I'm like, why is that hotter? But the fucking shade is further back this way. What am I trying to say? I'm so uninterested in any kind of intimacy with anyone. We've passed the 2-year mark once again, as I think some of us are aware. And the only reason it's 2 years celibate is because I tricked myself into thinking I was ready to date, and I did that with a guy who was poly, because that meant I was still allowed to talk about Mr. X. Because it's I don't know how... Okay, lately he's been coming up a little bit more, simply because yesterday was his birthday, and because, like I said, I'm having fucking issues with my storage stuff. Everything's duplicating itself. There are so many fucking things from back then. Yeah, so as I keep saying to Graham, I'm like, I have literally got basically our whole time together documented, because once the truth came out, i.e. he got married during the weekend I was in hospital, it wasn't like we stopped seeing each other. We continued to see each other for over a year, and there's a big story to that, obviously. And what is the point I'm trying to make right now? Yeah, right. As soon as that happened, I'd already told him my life has been fucked since day dot. All I truly care about in the world is telling my story before I died. So once he was sort of like, okay, like he didn't, everything was up in the air, because obviously, as we know, if you're new to my channel, once the truth hit, I found out, I immediately did what I think is the right thing to do and let this woman know. I just also continued to let her know throughout the affair, because the guilt killed me. I couldn't handle it. And Graham's like on and on and on about his lies, and I'm like, dude, he lies to literally everyone. He'd sit next to me and lie through his teeth to her, and I would just message her and go, he's lying, he's sitting right next to me. And there's so much shit going on. It's interesting because I'm like, I have to be able to get this out of my head, out of my whatever. And I'm definitely not mad. I'm not mad. I'm actually really not mad at anyone ever, except usually myself, right? And so much stuff comes up this time of the year for me, because it just brings back every single other fucking one. December is the one month, which should ironically be my favorite month, is just like, ugh. But I'm finally being able to see me as me, the version of me who I know I'm meant to be. I'm coming there. Like the versions of me that are fucking, yeah, like people are genuinely worried. I just have to be like, wow, I don't like a lot of the shit I'm just so like confused about. But again, I spent a lot of time, obviously me and Graham were talking last night, and I'm just like, I'm getting told for as long as I can remember how fucking different and weird I am. I'm not totally sure I see it, but like I've said, it's starting to hit me. I have to wean myself in to the actual proper information, context, conversations that actually matter. But yes, like I keep saying, I've got something in my head for the new year, and I don't really plan on discussing it because it's kind of going to defeat the purpose if I do. But Graham seems to think I'm setting myself up for fail, truthfully. He's just like, it's going to be a lot fucking harder than you think it is. And I'm just like, well, hopefully not, because I have all of you, all of this. Like, I'm no longer in the mindset of I have to do this and this and this and this and this to get me to my stage. I'm at the, I need to be me. I need to heal. I need to finally, after 6 years of saying that I'm going within and healing myself, which is interesting because all I've done is beat myself up non-stop around the clock for not being good enough, when in real reality I smoked ice every day around the clock for hours, days, weeks, months, years. And then one day was like, you know what, I really think I need to stop, and I need to do something to help me and to help me be me. And like I keep saying to Graham, the number one reason why I stopped is a little more sappy-dappy, because truthfully my number one reason was I need to become the best version of me to bring my other half back to me. But it's all very confusing because he's like, you're working your ass off. He's like, but that man lied to you 101 different times in the world. How do you think you'd ever trust him? And I was like, oh, if he's still the exact same person today as he was when I saw him last 6 years ago, this lying, cheating, doing drugs behind people's backs, like living multiple lives, I was like, I don't want that person in my life. And I think I need to start making that real clear. I love him and I have forgiven him for all of it, but I also love everyone in my life and have forgiven everyone for all of it. And for those people who might watch me and be like, that's bullshit, you've never spoken to me, blah blah blah, I always forgive. I just don't always let people back into my life, and sometimes unfortunately they don't always end well, but like I would never like ghost someone. So if someone ever wanted an actual like explanation about anything, they just have to contact me. Unlike me, who has been ghosted more times in my life than I can remember, and not just by men, but by actually people who I thought were my friends, and like we're talking real, genuine friends of years, who've just up and disappeared on me. Usually it's because their boyfriends or their new boyfriends that they've become obsessed about don't like me. Okay, cool. I'm very much starting to see what I need to be seeing, which is what I haven't been focusing on, which is like when you really break it down, Christmas Day either involves a fuck ton amount of work to do to host for yourself and the next person, or a fuck ton of driving, especially if you're in a relationship, you've got different sets of grandparents, I don't know, nieces, nephews, aunts, uncles, whatever the fuck it might be. And as much as like, I mean, I'm not gonna, yeah, I definitely want to be at Graham's house for a night where they're all drinking and I can crash. Absolutely want to do that. But yeah, like I said, provided everything goes as well as I think it will, which I'm pretty sure it will. It's like I'm doing it on Christmas Day. The first time I decided to drop acid, I was by myself. I did it on Halloween, and I was like, wow, that's interesting, because now I can see real Halloween things on my back fence. And again, I don't really fully hallucinate, but it's not for a lack of trying. Yeah. That's right, I'm at 45 minutes. I don't think people make it this far so far. If you're still watching, awesome. You're awesome. You're making my day, because I'm having the time of my life right now. I've been actually out here for so long. I haven't even lit it. What was I going to say? Yes, right. The conversation I wanted to record this morning with Graham, and then he reacted exactly like Andrew, and immediately I was like, yeah, okay, this isn't going to work. So, I tell stories, obviously. I love telling stories. Let's try that again. I love telling stories, obviously. But I prefer, this is all fine and well, because I guess I do treat you like people. It's like, brain needs to catch up. Right. It's making more sense now. So when I'm about to tell a really funny story that I think is funny, that I absolutely have every single intention of the world of sharing it with all of you, to me it just makes so much more sense to just switch my camera on and then continue the conversation that I'm having with the person who's with me, but recording it. Again, I'm never going to have people in my style. Some stupid bitch wants to jump in. That's her problem. I don't edit my crap. There's a reason, yeah? So, what am I saying? Anyway, to me, a voice in the background is fine, because a voice is a voice. I reference my friends all the time, but I reference them with completely made up names. I'm getting way better at actually just doing it on the spot though, like being like, and I can just switch it. And I have realised that because I've been using Graham's real name throughout the entire time I've been with him and talking to him, I can hear it in my head, and I'm even like, it's probably not noticeable at all to the viewer, but for me, it's almost like it's delayed, because like I use everybody's characters' names in my life like consistently, like they're always referred to by their character's name, so that I don't accidentally fuck it up in these videos, right? Because I don't edit, yeah? And because I'm as free to share whatever the hell I like, yeah? Because honestly, like I said to Graham, I was like, look, I don't tag things, I don't share things, I won't be sharing things, links and stuff anymore, like, all of that, yeah? I'm not trying to make myself really noticeable. I'm not trying to make myself some really well-known person on YouTube or whatever it is. I'm not trying to do that at all. Especially now I'm on my like third last like unit. Like I'm locked in. Like I said, this is happening. At some point by the end of this weekend, there'll be all the dates on those bloody fucking planners I like had specially made after the opera. But I'm just feeling better because I like with him, I kept saying, he was like, I seriously question, do I want to like drive all that way to be with you when you've just been so depressed and gloomy doomy for so long? And I was like, so you did question it? He's like, well, yeah. He's like, you pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed. And I was like, gotta be honest, I'm surprised you still came through. And he's like, because, and actually he told me he'd actually almost decided to cancel because of, like, I had a breakdown yesterday morning, because when he was like, I had to take the car into the mechanic and this and that, and I'm just like in my head going, it's just like the tire all over again. Like, this is maybe a bad idea, I shouldn't be doing this, oh my god, like, and because it's Mr. X's birthday, and like, let's face it, like that man, that person is with me. And as I, again, trying to make any of this make sense, I said to him, his high self and my high self, they're smack bang. I said, in reality, I don't know this man. I don't know who the fuck he is. I know nothing about him as a person anymore. But if he hasn't changed whatsoever from who he was, the Mr. X that I met in the beginning, the person that I loved from the start, the real version of him, if that's who I love. That's the one I love. Because we're the ones that are like, we're identical frequencies. I don't know how else if I can say it, yeah? Anyway, down here 3D though, whole different thing. And like I've said on many occasions, I'm quite happy in a lot of ways that this all happened the way it did, truthfully, and that he went with that option and I got this one, because I'd rather be single and smoking weed and taking myself through uni and doing whatever, all the stuff it is that I'm doing, even dealing with all the bullshit, because he's dealing with all the bullshit too. He's been through trauma. He's been through as much of it as I have. I obviously won't be sharing any of it. I don't share other people's personal stories. It's just not right. And yeah, like I said to Graham, I don't have social medias. That's the difference. So when I use characters' names, it's not like you can go and try to find a social media and then try to suss out who could be who based on what I say. Because I just don't see myself ever getting social media. Like, I don't care, and I don't want to be an influencer in the way that I need social media to do that. Like, it's almost like it's a challenge to myself. Like, fuck Facebook. Yeah? And the time that I did have Snapchat, while I had my websites open, like I said to Graham, I said, I'm paying for my premium websites. I'm paying for this stuff, like, because I want it all together. One day there will be many a book written, most of which I've got the documents for, which is why the storage thing is driving me bonkers. And that's how I think we came up with the story of, man, I really always do feel so much better when I just talk my stuff out. So, right, I'm going to try and finish the story I've started a few times now. Right, took a long time, but we did get to the conclusion that Graham and I realised that we were confused, and my lie that drives me insane with Santa, for starters, is actually more prominent because it's due to children. I think lying is wrong on every level. No justification allowed. I compartmentalized everything when I was back in the day, and that's what makes us able to cognitive dissociate as well as we humans do. Cognitively dissociate, yeah? I dissociate enough as it is. I don't need to be adding all that crap to it. So that one at least helped him understand me better. I'm just mad at like lying in general doesn't help. All of our generations are fucked, but we can help people being born now. There's a lot more to it, but I've been talking for like, let's say, 55 minutes and 2 seconds. And even I'm like, oh, fuck, what's the time? I don't know. Let's see if I'm supposed to take a medication right now. Oh, Jesus. What am I trying to say? Yes, so that was one thing. I believe in ultimate forgiveness for all. Doesn't mean I'm going to let you back in my life if you keep fucking with me. That's a different thing. Oh, yeah. What is it? I haven't missed my pills, but I'm definitely nearing them. So, one thing that was handy though, oh my god, Graham, he was able to put all the pain stuff on my back. It was amazing. Where else? What else am I trying to finish? Right, yes, I wanted to tell a funny story this morning to Graham, which I also want to tell all of you, which I thought would be easy to do both at once. So I was like, wait 1 second. I turned the camera on and had it facing me exactly the same as I do with my therapy sessions. Fuck, man, I'm in pain now that I'm standing up. Yeah, I figured it to be the same, yeah? It's not. So, when I said that Graham reacted the way Andrew did, Andrew immediately shuts up, yeah? Hates being anywhere on anything that's recording. Okay, fair cool. Apparently it's not just him. Graham did the same. He was like, I feel like there's an extra person just jumped on into the conversation, and I'm like, interesting. And I'm like, why though? It's still just you and me, and I'm going to tell you, but I'm going to record myself telling you. And that's when I realized, even with therapy, I still talk to you. I include you all as someone else that I'm talking to. And it does change the dynamics, it would appear. So let's face it, the one cuckoo, crazy, different to everybody else. Obviously have no issue being recorded, or any of that stuff. But yeah, even with the recording me, Graham immediately sort of just became like way quieter. So in the end, I like turned it off, and I was like, okay, this is 2 of you now. Can you please just maybe make it so that lifts make sense? Like it actually makes it to me, yes, because I don't understand what's happening. But yeah, apparently it isn't just a Andrew Graham thing. It's still, once again, a me thing. But when does that surprise anyone? Never, I think, is the answer. But it is now literally about to hit 58 minutes, and there it goes, 58 minutes. I have talked for so fucking long, not even sure if I've finished all my stories, but I do know it's nearly 4 o'clock, it's 3:45 in the afternoon on Saturday, which is, Saturday, the 17th of December 2022, and I have lots to do, so I'll talk to you all later. Bye.